Hello, everybody. It's part 10 of my Canadian military history series. This edition, will be talking about General Romeo Dallaire. Heroes. This basically is heroes of peacekeeping. We're talking about the heroes that some members that served overseas on peacekeeping missions. And tonight, for this part, we'll be talking about General Romeo Dallaire. Many people may know that General Romeo Dallaire was the person in charge of the Rwandan situation back in 1994. Here's this little statement from a website at the thirdworldtravel.com. Heroes General Romeo Dallaire. The Journal of the Genocide by this is written by Terry Allen. Amnesty International Now Magazine, Winter 2002. I'll put that up in the sidebar. The link to this site actually. So feel free to check the site out if you're requesting on this man. The brief intro to it is General Romeo Dallaire defied United Nations orders to withdraw from Rwanda without the authority, manpower, or equipment to stop the slaughter. He saved the lives he could, but nearly lost his sanity. If you ever read his book, Shake Hands with the Devil, it's another book I mentioned in part 1 that I had, but not too sure where it is right now. Yeah, Rwanda is one of those situations where the UN really screwed the pooch. Sorry to say, I despise the UN right now. In the last few years, they've been really screwy with a lot of things they do. But let's keep it in check with what we're doing. In an indifferent world, General Romeo Dallaire and a few thousand ill-equipped UN peacekeepers were all that stood between Rwandans and genocide. The Canadian commander did what he could, did more than anyone else, but he sees his mission as terrible failure and counts himself among its casualties. After 100 days of reign of terror, some 800,000 Rwandan civilians were dead, most killed by machete-wielding neighbors. But Dallaire had sounded the alarm. He begged, he bellowed, he even disobeyed orders. I was ordered to withdraw. By then, UN Secretary General Butus Gali, about 7-8 days into it, and said to him, I can't, I've got thousands. By then, we had over 20,000 people in areas under our control. Let's go from Dallaire said in a recent interview with Amnesty International now. The general's hands, always moving, rose beside his face as if to block the memories. The situation was going to shit, and I said, no, I can't leave. Right there, that's what makes General Dallaire hero in my eyes. That's why I'm mentioning him in this part, talking about him in this part, not somebody else. I'll talk about other heroes in military operations in later parts of it, but I want to focus on the peacekeeping aspect of it. We're just going to talk about General Romeo Dallaire. Anybody wants to throw in any more information, facts about Mr. Dallaire, General Dallaire? Yes, he's a Liberal senator right now for Canada, and I don't want anything against him. Stop child soldiers. He was instrumental in a treaty, with child soldiers. I don't know much about that treaty, but it's a good thing, honestly. Uh, Hearing on about Rwanda in this situation, the UN had sent Dallaire and 2,600 troops, mainly from Bangladesh and Ghana, to Rwanda to oversee a peace accord between the region's two main groups, the Hutus and the Tutsis. But on April 6, 1994, 8 months after the peacekeepers arrived, a plane carrying the Rwandan and Burundian presidents, both Hutus, was shot down over Kigali, the Rwandan capital. Hutu-controlled radio blamed the Tutsis and immediately began calling for their extermination, as well as for the murder of moderate Hutus considered friendly to the Tutsi cockroaches. The broadcast gave details on whom to kill and where to find them. That's not good news. It was not good. Dallaire and his troops were about to become spectators to genocide. As bodies filled the streets and rivers, the general backed by a UN mandate that didn't even allow him to disarm the militias, pleaded with his UN superiors for additional troops, ammunition, and authority to seize Hutu arms caches. In an assessment that military experts now accept as realistic, Dallaire argued with 5,000 well-equipped soldiers and a free hand to fight the Hutu power, he could bring the genocide to a rapid halt. Yes, that's 100% true. I mean, he was fighting to get his job done. He was not given the support to do his own job that the UN gave him to do. The UN turned him down. He asked the U.S. to block the Hutu radio transmissions. The Clinton administration refused to do even that. Gun shy after a humiliating retreat from Somalia the previous October. That's basically a movie now, Black Hawk Down. Not going to go into that. Washington saw nothing to gain from another intervention in Africa, and the Defense Department, according to a memo, assessed the cost of jamming the Hutu hate broadcast at $8,500 per flight hour. Eee, that's a lot. Dallaire's pain is palpable as he remembers his year-long mission. His words, raw as a wound, make a grim contrast to the carefully paused regrets of world leaders who actually had the power to stop the genocide but turned away. He has just spoken at an Amnesty-sponsored conference in Atlanta, Georgia, on law and human rights. And he looks tired, older than his 56 years. His eyes are close set, raptor-like, but his gaze is warm and direct. When you're command, you are in command, he says. There's 80,000 gone, mission turned into catastrophe. And you're in command. I feel I did not convince my superiors and the international community, he says. Didn't have enough of the skills to be able to influence that portion of the problem. And this goes on and on about that. If you feel free to read more into it, I'm just covering a few things on it. My personal thoughts on General Romeo Dallaire. Never met the man, like I never met Sergeant Marc Leger. This is the previous part, but I can say one thing. The man has honor in him. Anybody who's seen what he's seen has earned my respect. It should have earned everybody's respect from everybody out there. He did something that not too many people could do. He tried to do within the rules, but he failed. Canada's, our politicians, our world leaders around the world are all to blame for the Rwandan genocide in Rwanda back in 1994, April to August 1994. He basically, after that, he suffered from PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, and a handful of pills a day. He's working to use his experience to prevent another Rwanda, which this is the man you want on your side. This is the man who should be running the United Nations right now. I mean, he's been there, he's done that. He will step out of the way, get the job done. He will not stop anything to prevent this, which is a great thing. I mean, I think it was Ban Ki-moon or whatever his name is at the UN right now, the Council General of the United Nations. He is, in my opinion, the biggest moron, dumbass, etc., 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 and hence why the UN has screwed up in the last 10 years, 15 years. Every operation they touched in the last 15 years has been a screw up, for the most part. If in a situation like this, but General Dallaire, he did his job, got his job done the best he could with the support he was given, and he was successful. But he was also a failure of his, as he admits, it was a failure. He failed his mission to protect the people. So I mean, this is end of part 10 of the Canadian Military History series. And I hope you all have a great day, great night, great morning, wherever you are. And hope to talk to you soon. Part 11. Have a great day. Bye.